beginning of this episode, everybody ends up gathering together for Bobby and Gael's trip. However, Bobby made sure to keep it quiet about Gael being a part of hosting this trip because he knew that nobody would come if they knew she was a part of it. But as soon as they all arrived on the trip, he made sure to let them know that Gael is actually his co-host, and although everybody was not happy about it, Gael was on her best behavior, so everybody decided to give her another chance. Now, Amara and Miami Tip end up showing up on the trip together, and as soon as Amara saw Bobby and Gael together, she immediately got upset because she really doesn't like Gael because of Gael being a part of ruining her DR trip last season. Last season on Amara's DR trip, Gael was all over Allan and was rubbing it in Amara's face on purpose, so obviously she doesn't like her. However, Gael and Amara end up having a conversation with Miami Tip and Bobby being the mediators, and the two of them agreed that they're going to let the past be in the past and they're going to move forward and enjoy the trip. But Miami Tip also ended up letting it slip that she invited Pinky Doll, and Bobby wasn't happy about this, and neither was Amara. Obviously, Amara is not happy about this because she also got into a beef with Pinky Doll about the whole Ray J audition situation, and then they ended up getting into it in last week's episode at MJ's event. So of course Amara's not going to be happy about Pinky Doll coming. However, Miami Tip said that she invited Pinky Doll because she wanted Pinky Doll to make amends with everybody and show them who she really is. But Bobby is getting annoyed because everybody that he did not invite on the trip is getting invited by other people. Everybody is bringing a +1, and it's making things a little messy. And things end up getting even messier when Princess ends up showing up on the trip with Ray J. Now, Bobby was upset about this, okay, because he's friends with Princess and he doesn't like the way that Ray J has been treating Princess and causing drama in her life. And he did not invite Ray J, he only invited Princess. So Bobby immediately starts going off on Ray J as soon as he sees him, calling him out for being the reason why Princess and Amara ended up falling out. Now look, I don't like the way Princess handled this situation because she started saying that she's not mad at Ray J, so nobody else should be, because she knows that Ray J's a man and she expected him to act the way that he acted with Amara. But she's upset with Amara because Amara was supposed to be her friend and she went and met up with her husband behind her back. And look, I don't like that because I feel like Princess should hold Ray J accountable too. He was wrong for that situation because he knew that Amara and Princess were friends and he went after Amara anyway just to piss off Princess. So he should be in the doghouse as well. However, I do still think she has a reason to be upset with Amara because that's supposed to be her friend and she went and met up with her husband behind her back and invited him back to her house. It just seems like Princess is more mad at Amara than she is at Ray J. She claims that she's not even with Ray J and that they're definitely going through with the divorce this time, and she said that the only reason why she invited Ray J on this trip is because he's been crashing out since she told him that she's seeing other people and that she is definitely going through with the divorce. So she thought the trip would be good for the two of them because she felt like maybe they could get on good terms, because even if they do get a divorce, they still have children, so they still have to be in each other's lives. However, that probably was not the best idea. I just feel like she should be more mad at Ray J than she is at Amara, because I don't think her and Amara had a strong friendship. They did have some type of friendship, so I'm not saying that she doesn't have a reason to have an issue with Amara, but she should be more mad at her husband, who she has children with, who betrayed her, than she is with Amara. Bobby was definitely doing a lot though when it came to Ray J. However, I understood why he did it, because Ray J kind of gets coddled by a lot of people. They kind of baby his feelings. Like when Brooke didn't baby his feelings and she called him out on the things that he was doing to Princess, he got upset and started crashing out and started going off trying to fight Marcus. Now Bobby is trying to hold him accountable and now he's trying to fight Bobby. And look, Bobby called him a bitch boy. I do think that he was doing too much with that, but he did not back down when Ray J basically threatened to throw him in the pool. He was asking Bobby if he could swim, and Bobby definitely was not backing down from the situation. They didn't end up fighting, okay, because Princess shut it down, but it was getting really crazy. But if you thought the drama stopped there, it definitely did not, because more uninvited guests end up showing up on the trip, because Pinky Doll ends up showing up with Flo and Gael gets pissed off, and now Bobby's mad because he got mad at Gael because he didn't know that Flo was coming, but Gael is mad because she didn't even want Flo coming on the trip. And now Miami Tip is upset and questioning Pinky Doll because she invited Pinky Doll on the trip, but she didn't tell her that she could bring a +1, and she did anyway. So now Miami Tip is feeling like she made a mistake in inviting Pinky Doll, because now everybody's looking at her sideways because Pinky Doll invited Flo, who has beef with a lot of other people on the trip. And just when you thought the drama was going to stop there, then Zoe ends up showing up with Shay, okay? And everybody knew that Shay was coming on the trip, including Amara. However, Shay has some issues with Gael, but she doesn't even know that Gael and Fabo are messing around with each other, which I'm sure is going to end up being revealed during this trip. But things were definitely awkward between Shay and Amara, because obviously Amara feels some type of way because of the way that Shay was acting at MJ's event a few episodes ago when Allan ended up showing up. She was yelling, calling him names, throwing stuff, and she had security holding everybody back. It just went crazy. So Shay immediately ends up going up to Bobby and Amara, and that's when Amara starts trying to explain herself because she doesn't want Shay to think that she purposely invited Allan to MJ's event to ruin it. So she let Shay know that she did not tell Allan that she was going to MJ's event. It was actually her mother that told him that she was there. But Shay starts telling Amara that she's not going to apologize because she's not sorry for anything that she said to Allan, and she's going to keep letting him know about himself anytime she sees him. And that obviously ends up pissing off Amara because she feels like even though Shay is supposed to be her friend, she should stay out of her business with Allan, because at the end of the day, she told Shay that she doesn't get involved in her business with Fabo. And you know, I feel like Amara's right. She doesn't get involved in Shay's business with Fabo, and honestly, Fabo's not that much better than Allan, so I don't understand why Shay has all this animosity towards somebody else's baby daddy instead of her own. I mean, even though what Shay's saying about Allan is true and Amara is acting very delusional, at the end of the day, Shay doesn't really have room to talk because she's in a very similar situation as Amara. The only difference is that, you know, Fabo is not married to somebody else. That's the only difference, to be honest. Now, everybody ends up going to the beach together, and Gael tries to get Amara to go talk to Princess. She even lies to Amara and tells her that Princess wants to talk to her, but it was very clear that Gael was not being truthful as soon as Amara went up to Princess, because Princess immediately said that she doesn't have anything to say with Amara, and that once she puts her hands on one of her friends, they're no longer friends anymore. And Amara agreed, and she wasn't really happy about Gael trying to get them to talk. I don't like the idea of trying to force two people who are not cool with each other anymore to talk. I feel like people should let two people that fell out with each other talk on their own terms when they're ready to do it, and if they even want to do it, because all it does is cause trouble when you force two people who don't like each other to talk. But Ray J is acting like a big baby. He is upset at the fact that Princess is moving on and she's over him and she's ready to fully get the divorce this time. He is crashing out, okay? Because he pulls Trick aside and he starts telling Trick that Princess is happy and that she's moving on because she told him that he needed to watch the kids because she was taking a flight to go meet a different guy, and she was honest with him about it. Like, she literally told him she was going to see another man. Ray J said he was so distraught, and he ended up going through Princess's phone and seeing the conversations that she was having with this other man, and he's so upset about it. And so Trick gets mad too. He gets mad at Princess for Ray J and ends up going up to Princess and trying to check her about telling Ray J that she was going to see another man. He starts telling Princess that she was wrong for telling Ray J that, and that she acts like, you know, he doesn't have feelings because he's a man. And it's like, well, he didn't care about Princess's feelings when he was cheating with all these other women. Did he care about how she was feeling about that situation? No. But now that she's being honest with him and she's telling him that she's going to see somebody else and she's going through with the divorce, now Ray J is upset because he has to see the way that Princess felt when he was leaving and sleeping with other women behind her back. I just feel like that was messy of Trick to go up to Princess and try to check her. At least she was honest with him and told him where she was going and that she's talking to somebody else instead of lying like he was doing all that time. At least she was honest. Now, Pinky Doll and her sister end up getting into it pretty bad when she ends up showing up on the trip. Now, Pinky Doll invited her sister because she wanted to work out their relationship and let her sister come along for the ride so that she can mingle and, you know, get to know some of these people as well. So her sister ends up showing up and you think the conversation is going to go well because they're talking pretty friendly to each other. But then all of a sudden they start getting into an argument because her sister brings up the fact that she feels like Pinky Doll stole her whole personality and all of her ideas, and she took it and now she's successful with it. So everybody's at the beach having a good time with each other, and all of a sudden Allan ends up showing up and the energy in the room completely changes. And Bobby immediately starts questioning Amara, asking her if she was the one that told Allan about the trip, because at the end of the day he doesn't want the trip to be ruined by Allan and Amara getting into it, because when they were in the DR, Allan and Amara got into it pretty bad and it messed up the whole trip. But as soon as Allan tried to pull Amara to the side to have a conversation with her one-on-one away from everybody else, that's when Shay starts going off. She starts yelling at him, calling him names, throwing things, and security's holding her back. And Amara's trying to tell Shay to chill out and mind her business. And honestly, I do feel like Shay should chill out and mind her business. I mean, I understand that she's friends with Amara and she doesn't want her to be with a guy like Allan who's playing in her face and doesn't help with their children. However, she should mind her business, because at the end of the day, Amara seems to like it and she seems to still want to be with him. So I don't understand why Shay is wasting all her energy. And look, Allan ends up pulling Amara to the side and he tells her that he's been thinking about all the stuff that she told him a few episodes ago, and he he had a conversation with his wife about having another baby with Amara, and she was not okay with it, but he said that he's going to do what he wants to do and said that he's willing to put 2 baby boys in her stomach. And she sat up there and she seemed like she was agreeing with him, like she wanted to do it, because she was smiling when he was touching her face and all that stuff like that. They were hugging all over each other and they walked away holding hands, and everybody's staring at them, shaking their heads, because they're like, why would Amara even want to be with somebody like that? But at the end of the day, she's stupid. Just let her be stupid. The worst part about it is that he didn't even tell Amara that he loves her too and that he wants to be with her and he's gonna leave his wife to be with her. All he said was that he was gonna do what he wanted to do and he was willing to have another baby with her, and she ate that up and walked off into the sunset with him. So I feel like everybody should stay out of it at this point and let her look dumb. So those are my thoughts on this week's episode of Love and Hip Hop Miami. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all. And until next time, I will talk to you guys in my next video.